Bucky's a politician now, even though that would literally be impossible. This man literally killed JFK. Why would he is the worst terrorist of all time? He dismantled several.
Worse for Nazi Germany. Worse for Captain America felt like.
He shouldn't feel like that because he was not Jesus. He was actually outclassed the entire movie, which makes sense. But he was struggling with just regular goons.
Exactly. So this begins our review. I mean, as you can see, we have a lot of thoughts. I mean, just an incredible amount of thoughts with this. I was going to say beautiful, but I can't even say that.
Here we go.
With this movie.
Captain Falcon, A Brave New World. What was the first title? Wasn't it like a new era?
The Serpent Society.
Yes.
Because well, we'll get into that.
Yeah, okay. So,
welcome to the Talk No Jutsu podcast. Welcome back, everybody. We just watched the movie. Today is Thursday. When we film this, it'll be out Friday.
Actually, it's going to be out
afternoon. It can't be out tonight because I'm too lazy to edit it. No. It'll be out tonight. It'll be out sometime.
It'll be out soon. We just seen it. Early screener. I lied. I wish.
Yeah.
But
should have just kept it up for real. And then they would have believed us. Fake it till you make it, you know? A lot of thoughts, lots of opinions. Yeah. But we're going to start with spoiler-free opinions.
Spoiler-free opinion.
As far as we can go, anyways, with the spoiler-free. Because then we'll start tangents.
Yeah. So I just want to go ahead and say my spoiler.
Go ahead and say I can't log into my computer.
Yeah, Kevin with his routine technical difficulties. So while he's trying to figure that out, probably because he'd be watching, I'm going to...
No computer. Just going to raw dog it.
My spoiler-free thoughts of the movie is... it's definitely a movie, is what I would say. It definitely was a movie. It was... Is it one of the worst Marvel movies? No, it's not worse than... It's not the bottom tier, but it's not top tier as well. It's definitely a film that I would say that if you are a Marvel fan... I wouldn't skip it, but it wouldn't hurt if you skipped it. It wouldn't hurt if you skipped it. They touch on some things that will probably have some implications moving forward. At least one plot point will have implications moving forward. At least one. A lot of the other ones they're not necessarily as important. And overall, it was an okay movie. I wouldn't call it bad. I wouldn't call it good. I know there's a lot of hate out there right now. I wouldn't just say it's a horrible film. It was fun. Got some good action in it. I would say again, if you're a diehard Marvel fan, I would see it. You won't be disappointed in it. But if you're more of a casual Marvel fan, haven't really seen some, I would say this is probably one to skip. Again, there will be at least one major plot point moving forward, but other than that, it's not too major. They don't even touch on it much. So, what's your spoiler-free thoughts?
My spoiler-free thoughts match yours. I'm going to be honest. I love the action.
The action was good.
The action was really good.
Well,
if you wanted to watch action, I think it's your movie.
I will say this. The action was good. The CGI action was good. The practical action was, it was, practical action was not the best.
Gave me a little bit of a headache.
A lot of cuts, a lot of clearly not a good choreography. Yeah. But the CGI action was actually pretty good. There's a couple big set pieces, and one of the major set pieces was really well done. I had fun. It was really well done, well executed. But again, once you get to the hand-to-hand, the actual like actors' physical, non-CGI action, it's pretty rough. Pretty rough, I would say. Lots of cuts. Kind of shot not like a modern Marvel film. I mean, if you're coming from Captain America: The Winter Soldier, or even Daredevil, with those hand-to-hand fights, incredible, well choreographed. This one, not so much. But again, it's fine.
That's another thing I want to touch on too. Is if you're coming in to watch Captain America and you're expecting old MCU vibes or anything like that, I would disregard that. I would disregard that moving forward. Remember, guys, the Infinity War saga is over. That version of Marvel is basically kind of dead. The characters transpire over. Obviously, they have to. But if you're, like you said, if you're a diehard Marvel fan, I think you should go watch it. You're going to like it. Now, obviously, for those who haven't watched it, you will be out of the loop because there is a lot of stuff that get touched on
Yeah,
that you
and
have to
we'll
have
go into
Disney
that.
Plus
Yeah,
and
we'll go
whatnot.
into that in spoiler territory. But I will say,
Yeah.
if you are a relatively new Marvel fan, like you haven't seen a lot of the older movies, and or if you're a fan who does not watch any of the Disney Plus shows, you will be fairly lost in this. A little, not majorly lost. It's good enough for you can keep up. But I will say that there's a lot of, again, it's a lot of touchstones. I'll just say this: this movie feels less like an Captain America sequel and more like an Incredible Hulk sequel. This is essentially Incredible Hulk #2. When I was seeing some reports saying that this movie was being written during the time, which shows how long it's been in production. It was being written while the whole Disney Fox merger was, in kind of limbo, and obviously Disney doesn't have the movie rights to the Incredible Hulk. I don't know if y'all know that, but essentially the Marvel or Disney cannot release a standalone Incredible Hulk film. They have to get clearance from Universal, kind of like the Spider-Man Disney deal, but it's kind of more strict. But unlike the Spider-Man deal, Incredible Hulk and the characters can appear in movies. That's why the Hulk was always in the Avengers. He was in Thor Ragnarok. But Spider-Man, for him to be in those movies, Sony has to sign off on. So it's not the case with the Incredible Hulk. That's also why She-Hulk is possible, because they also own the TV rights. But when it comes to movies, Universal has to distribute that movie. So they're not going to probably never going to get an Incredible Hulk sequel. But this movie definitely feels like an Incredible Hulk #2. And we'll get into that in spoiler territory. But I'll say, if you haven't seen The Incredible Hulk, watch that first before you watch this movie, if you want to not be as lost in the movie.
If I may, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the fact that it's a Hulk sequel. I definitely do think they have those characters. Again, we'll get into it later. I think it has the Hulk's characters, yes, but I think it still worked even without the Hulk. I think there's a lot of review bombing that's going on because everyone's just kind of hopping on that train of like, oh, we don't feel the same vibes from before, blah 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 blah. But I think it still worked, and we'll get into it once we go into my opinion at least. I think it still worked. We'll get into it once we get to spoilers, but spoiler free. What would you give it?
My rating?
Yeah.
Out of 1 to 10, I would give it a solid 6. Pushing a 7, but
So 6.5.
no, we're not doing. It's a 6.
Okay.
Not terrible.
Okay.
It was It's more like a 5. The definition of mid.
Yeah.
I would say it's a 5. Not bad. It's
How would you rate the action?
watchable. The action was probably an 8. Again,
8.
the action when it's good was really good. Like
Yeah.
the major set pieces in this movie were really, really good. The action when it was hand to hand, again, like choreographed, not
cut.
CGI, it was really bad. So
Yeah.
it was up and down with the action.
What about character development? What would you rate that?
Character development was very poor.
Yeah.
No character development in this movie. Everybody who was in this movie came in and left the same way they did. Sam did, Torres did, some characters who we won't get into. They all were the same. I also will say this: if you really are on the fence about this movie, and you've seen the trailer, you don't have to see the movie. if that's what would you agree to that?
I would agree to that.
Yeah. So again,
Yeah.
no spoilers, but if you've seen the trailer, you've pretty much seen the movie. Again, though, it's fine. Like, it's not bad. It's not like I wanted to walk out of it or it was poorly acted. I will say that everybody who was in it, they gave their best. I would say Anthony Mackie, they gave him not the best stuff to work with. He worked with what he had to work with. Harrison Ford, he just showed up for the check, but he definitely showed up. He was acting. He was acting for sure, but I wouldn't say that he gave his best performance. But Torres, he was good. I don't know his actor's name, but he was good. The rest of the side characters weren't that compelling. Again, no character development from anybody in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie is supposed to be, Sam Wilson's big shot as Captain America. Did not feel that at all. This did not instill and me with him being my Captain America moving forward. That did not happen in this. So I know a lot of went into this movie, a lot of reshoots. Disney has come out, tried to deny some of the rumors about the production of this movie. There's a lot of rumors, though, saying it was shot a lot. And you can tell it was definitely reshot a lot. You could tell that
the third act, I feel like you can tell was reshot a lot. I don't know about the first two acts.
the first, like, almost all of the acts kind of feel like different movies. It seems like none of the plot points kind of converged. There's one distinct plot point, and then the other plot points kind of just.
Yeah. Well, actually, let's just go ahead. I mean, you gave it a rating.
What was your rating?
I would say I would. Well, honestly, I'd give it a 7 overall with the movie, because I think it did what I feel like they were trying to do, which was just tie in some loose ends, which we'll get into, move on with the story, introduce. This is in the trailer. People know. Try to introduce an adamantium. Try to not ignore Tiamut, the fact that he's outside the planet. I think this was more of a loose ends kind of solver movie. I don't think it was meant.
Like, this is literally.
Yeah, that's all it was. It was just.
This is literally tying up all the loose ends to the.
That's
Incredible
all it did.
Hulk.
So
like
so that's why I give it a 7, because if that's what their goal was, then they did that. I think they did a good job. They tied in all the loose ends from different movies. Action, I'm gonna split it. Like he said, the CGI action, I would give it an 8. The hand to hand, I would go down to like a 4. It was actually genuinely giving me a headache.
It was bad.
It was too many cuts. You could tell, like, I don't know what their budget probably did not go into choreograph. They were like, just slam the dude in the table, like that's action enough. And then character development, did you give him a score? Because I would give it a 2.
Character development was it was non-existent. So
I would give it a 2.
I would give it a 1. There was no literally none of the characters had arcs.
I think
nobody had an arc in this film except for.
If anything, I think they reversed.
regressed for sure.
We'll get in that in a second. But from now on, this will be spoilers.
Yeah, full spoilers.
All of this is just going to be spoilers. So if you haven't watched the movie, go watch it. Then come back and watch our review. Yeah. What do you want to get into first? Do you want to get into the world, Captain America, the side characters?
Well, I just wanted to touch on the arcs. The only person who had an arc in this movie was Ross. Barely. And he didn't actually have an arc.
Yeah.
I'll just to jump into it, because if you're watching this movie for Red Hulk, you've already seen all of the Red Hulk in the trailer. Literally, the trailer showed every sequence of the Red Hulk in this movie. Yeah. He's only appeared in probably 5-10 minutes max. I think the official number is somewhere like 7 of Red Hulk. I will say when Red Hulk is on screen, it's fun. He is.
I want to say they did a good job with the CGI.
Yeah, Red Hulk looks good.
Yeah.
He also was freaking scary, as he should be. He was really scary. I will say, though, if you are one of those OG Hulk fans and you just can't wait to see the Red Hulk, don't get too excited. You've already seen all of it. Unless you've been media blackout with this movie, you've already seen everything about the Hulk. And when it comes to Sam Wilson as Captain America, he had no arc. He went in struggling with the idea of being Captain America. He left out struggling with the idea of being Captain America.
Yeah, he literally. I want to backtrack too, because on his arc closed at the end of Winter Soldier and the Falcon.
Yeah, he had closure.
At the end, he was
Captain
like,
America.
yeah, I am Captain America. America will become better. And literally from the get-go, he was like,
struggling. He's
yeah,
like,
man, I don't know if I should be Captain America. Word for word is kind of what he said, where he was literally went back to what he was saying in Winter Soldier and Captain America, where he was like, I think Steve made a mistake.
Yes, he's even regressed back to the point where saying, man, I need to take the serum.
Which was the whole debacle of the show. If you haven't watched the show, just...
Even in the third act, in the finale, he's like, yeah, I probably should have took the serum. Moving forward, he low-key might take I don't know.
I think that's what they're going to do, a build-up. I think with the whole... We'll get into it. I think it's going to be a build-up for him to get the serum. He'll get the serum at some point, and then it'll be like a big, like, oh my God, he's got the serum, but we're just like, about time.
Yeah.
You got the serum. But I want to be also honest. This kind of ruins the Winter Soldier and Falcon show.
Yeah, I mean,
now it was kind of pointless.
It undercuts that.
So if you haven't watched it, don't watch it. Just know that important characters are U.S. agent. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Really, from it, that's all you need to know. And also the Wakandans are on it, but honestly, it wasn't. They didn't
Yeah.
really do much except for
The
tear
only
Bucky's arm
part
off.
of that you'll be confused of is Isaiah, that character that was introduced in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, the show. He's basically the OG cat. Well, not the OG. The OG is always Steve Rogers, but this is Isaiah Bradley. He was experimented on, kind of like Bucky, by the U.S. government. Imprisoned. He is an original super soldier. He had an entire arc in Falcon and Winter Soldier that came to a resolution that got picked up again in this movie again, but he didn't have an arc.
It was also ruined too, because the whole Captain America and Winter Soldier at the end was like, oh, he is a good guy. We should give him, public face. And then they ruin it because he tries to kill the president.
Yes.
So his arc is ruined.
I will say that this movie. Okay, another character, the Serpent, Giancarlo Esposito. If you're a big fan of his, don't expect much from him. He clearly was part of the reshoots, you can tell.
Yeah.
I really feel like they just put him in this movie so that they can put him on the poster to be like, hey, look, Giancarlo Esposito is in the movie.
I think they tried to kind of be like, wait, he'll be back, because there is a scene, the part where he's talking to Captain America, and he's just like, well, when I escape from prison, I'm going to come for you.
Yeah.
So obviously they're going to probably pick it up, or in Marvel fashion, forget about it and never talk about it
I
again.
feel like this movie is a collection of a lot of solid ideas that just got put all out into one movie that did not coherently go together. Like the Serpent storyline is a cool storyline.
Yes.
The fight for the Tiamat and the Adamantium is a cool storyline. And then the leader being the puppet behind all of this is also a cool storyline. But those
like a 2-movie type
those
deal.
storylines do not weave together at all. I feel like I will say William Hurt dying kind of really does hurt this, because he was down to play these movies. Like when he was Thunderbolt Ross, the original actor for Thunderbolt Ross. Unfortunately, he passed away in real life. So that's why Harrison Ford is now Thunderbolt Ross. But that should have been a more slow burn. Like, to me, the leader in the Red Hulk, they're Hulk villains. I feel like the leader definitely could work as any other villain, because he's not necessarily physically a brute. So that slow burn for Ross, like, to me, you set up Ross, you have him set up the Thunderbolts, and then that leads him down the path of becoming the Red Hulk. That's the preferable timeline for me that will work out, because that's why the Thunderbolts are the Thunderbolts. I don't even know how they're going to explain the name now, because there also is a part in this movie where he's like, hey, Sam, I need you to rebuild the Avengers. And Sam is like, I don't know. Is that even possible? He was like, they would have to work for you. And he was like, yeah, exactly.
Again, another
plot point.
Another thing where you see in the trailer, and that's all you're going to get, because they talk about it once and they don't talk about it ever again.
Yes, exactly. So again, another one of those plot points that they just weaved in here, just kind of threw it out there.
Yeah.
But for me, I feel like that would have been really cool, because it's like, because Sam is like, well, we would have to work for you, Thunderbolt Ross, and he could have winked and nodded at the camera like, oh, if you won't, then I can get somebody who will. That's a cool idea for Ross to try to build up the Thunderbolts, to get him to his descent to become the Red Hulk. Unfortunately, this will be one and done for Harrison Ford. The man is 82 years old, man. I mean, he's not. He's about his money. I respect that, but he's not coming back as Thunderbolt Ross.
Especially
I doubt.
with the way this movie looks like it's going. I don't think
he didn't die, but Harrison Ford, I wouldn't count on him returning as the Red Hulk, which is disappointing. I wouldn't count on him returning as Thunderbolt Ross again, which is disappointing, because he should not have been one and done. He should not have been one and done.
Yeah. Well, they do have, like, in animation and in comics where he's stuck as the Red Hulk, so they could continue, just give him
it's
a
not
different...
going to hit the same, though. For
yeah,
him,
but
for
I
him
mean, it
being
is
the leading force, you know?
Yeah, but like it kind of is what it is. Like, at this point, like, we're kind of going to get what we're going to get until hopefully, which me and Josh have been talking about this, hopefully there's a restart at some point, maybe Secret Wars.
Yeah,
At this point, we just got to... I feel like we just got to hold on, and hopefully they wrap it up in a way where they're like, okay, we're going to restart everything.
I hope so.
Now we can get a fresh new start.
And we're going to be talking about that. We just had, obviously, this is a big movie. We got to talk about this. But pretty soon we're going to be doing some content on what we would do with the MCU and what we believe the MCU would be doing moving forward. So we'll be doing that soon.
I want to say another thing, too. Another reason why this movie kind of trumps the show of Winter Soldier is undercuts trumps. Is that
it undercuts the show.
The president, I'm sorry. It undercuts the movie because it's just like we get the Winter Soldier for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. And the whole thing is their buddies, like it's their dynamic.
And there was a lot of reports that, he's not going to show up, he's not going to do anything, but he kind of gives them a little pep talk, like,
Yeah,
hey,
it was a very
you can do this.
See, this is what we're saying. Like Marvel, why would you put Bucky in the Thunderbolts instead of having him be the leading character in Falcon?
I want to say something. I see why they did it, because they were trying to make it. They failed at it, but they tried to make like Captain America, he is Captain America. Sam Wilson is Captain America. He can do this by himself. But unfortunately, the movie didn't do a good job at that because
he struggled the whole movie.
Exactly, he struggled the whole movie.
I will say they showed there's 2 set pieces in this film that are big CGI, as you would expect. Sam proved himself to be capable in those set pieces, but when he's not the Falcon and he's just kind of stealthing around, he was kind of trash. And I know in those sections, if Bucky was there, it would kind of make the balance would be off because he would just destroy. But so I get it, but they didn't really give Sam enough to be like, okay, he feels as a capable Captain America. He still feels a very capable Falcon, which is funny because that was part of Torres's arc, is him trying to feel like he could be a capable Falcon.
And then he gets shot down by a bomb that he definitely should not have survived.
So that's part of his arc, but it's like they're showing that Sam is more than capable as a Falcon, but when he's doing Captain America stuff, he's not
there yet
as a Captain America, which is undercutting Sam as
as
Sam
character.
he holds his own.
But he kind of does it. Yeah. At the beginning, he was trying to get the adamantium. And he got bodied a lot. But it would have escaped if it wasn't for the Falcon to come and help him out. The adamantium would have gotten away, and he would have just fought the main serpent guy. But honestly, this didn't give me this is Captain America. This gave me he needs a sidekick. Like the new Captain America needs a sidekick, which in the comics, Captain America had Bucky until he died. But I feel like they should have given him more they should have toned down his villain. It should not have been the Red Hulk. That's what I'm saying. It should have been. It should have just been the leader and the Serpent, and that would have worked because he could have done that by himself.
Cook for Red Hulk.
Exactly. They could have hinted at that. And honestly, I don't even think they should have included the leader. I think they should have kept the whole you can barely see him, and probably hinted at him pulling the strings. And then once, like you said, once they cook up, Thunderbolt Ross, then they would have been like, it was the leader all along.
The pieces are there. I feel like at the end of the day, they probably was like, you know what?
Was this in the middle of the writer's strike too, or no?
Yes, also part of the writer's strike. I feel like at the end of the day, they was like, you know what? We're about to reset everything. Let's just get the. Honestly, this movie got delayed, but this movie really just got put out. They was like, just put it out. Yeah. You can tell. They're like, just put it out. Remember, it's supposed to come out last year, right? At some point, it was supposed to come out last year. This time, yeah. And then they pushed it. They pushed it to the summer of last year, and then
they pulled it to December, if I'm not mistaken.
And then they was we just have to put this movie out. So you could tell they was like, you know what, just get it out. I feel like the Thunderbolts 2 is low key giving the same vibes. Like we just got to get it out. But the ideas in this movie could have worked. Like this movie introduced several ideas that should have been of their own movies. Again, like you said, the leader didn't even have to be that. The Serpent Society could have been his thing.
Thunderbolt Ross, the whole arc.
Thunderbolt Ross could have been adamantium. It's a lot in this movie, but nothing really happens. Also, a major plot point is there's a looming war between the world essentially that the leader is orchestrating, but. Again,
he fails twice in one movie. Yeah, that's another thing.
So the movie,
even the villain wasn't the best, and at the end, he didn't even really defeat him. The villain was just like, I got to turn myself in because that's the only way I win.
Yeah.
So even he doesn't defeat him, and he talked no jutsu to the Red Hulk into not destroying. So even Sam doesn't really fight him because it wasn't really a fight. I mean, Sam got thrown around. He got
cool action though.
Yeah, it was, but it wasn't. If you came in thinking the hero would win, the heroes kind of don't win. They kind of get lucky the whole way through.
This whole movie is basically proving that Sam can't be Captain America, which is a weird message. At the end of the day, does he succeed? Yeah, he succeeds.
By luck.
But he doesn't prove it. At the end of this movie, I'm not feeling like, Sam is about to lead the Avengers in the next movie.
Which is what they were kind of hinting at
Right.
the end, where they were like, "Yeah, I think I should bring the Avengers back," but it's like, no, you really shouldn't.
Yeah.
You need to focus on your own thing.
So
And-
ultimately, I would say this. I wouldn't call it a disappointment because we kind of already seen the writing on the wall. But it's more disappointing in knowing that it's several things that I would have liked to see them flesh out. I will say this: it's not a fleshed out movie. If you haven't noticed in what we're saying, like characters aren't fleshed out, plot points aren't fleshed out, the action that's choreographed wasn't fleshed out. It's just.
It's bare bones, really.
Very bare
it looks
bones
like
movie.
it looks like they had thrown the ideas on the wall,
A lot of good
and
ones.
they were just like, okay, let's just stick it together, just the best way we can, and then just throw it out. If they did it again, the reason I gave it a higher rating, was because if they were using it for a plot point closer movie, I think they did an excellent job. Because we found out what happened to the leader. We
found out what happened with Tiamat.
Yeah, exactly. We also, the
got some
original actor for Thunderbolt Ross, he passed away, but at least now we know who's going to play him, or possibly what's going to happen with his character moving
We
forward.
got the resolution to the Sokovia Accords.
That too. And we got another glimpse into this world again. We got to stick our head back in because we haven't been in
to see how the world's acting.
Yeah, because we haven't been in because we got this Spider-Man animated series, which was not connected. What else we get?
Yeah, we haven't been into like the MCU proper for
exactly.
a while.
So if you're watching it to be a closer on some things and to kind of stick your head back in the world to see what's going on, I think they did a good job. But if for a Captain America, it just shouldn't be a Captain America movie.
That's what I'm
This
saying.
should
It feels
be
like a Hulk movie.
not even a Hulk movie. They should just call it the loose end movie.
It's really like a here dang, bruh.
That's really what it was.
It's like here dang.
Yeah, because
y'all keep
low-key-
asking us about Tiamat. Here dang.
And the leader, people had been
Y'all
asking
keep asking
for
about the
that.
leader. Here dang. Here's what he's. Here's
Here
what
he
they at.
is. Yeah, low key, that's kind of what happened. So I think overall, if you're going to this movie to be like, yes, this is the movie where Sam Wilson becomes Captain America.
That's not it.
No.
Also, that happened in the Falcon
If
and the Winter
you're
Soldier.
watching this movie to be like, yes, the Red Hulk, he's going to become the biggest threat to
Yeah, you've
to
already
the
seen
people.
that in the trailer. You've
No.
already seen the action in the
If
trailer.
you're watching this to find out what happens to the old man from the
Isaiah,
no,
nothing
because
happened to
nothing
him.
happens.
He went to jail and got out.
And if you're watching this to happen, like, what's going to happen with the adamantium?
We don't know.
Again, no, because at the end of the movie, they're like, yeah, Japan signed the
They said the
new-
treaty of because the central plot point of the movie is that the leader was manipulating again the Serpent Society and Ross to get the antimaterium from Tiamat, but he didn't even want the antimaterium. He just wanted
He
a
just
war to
wanted
happen.
Ross to
Yeah,
look bad, which
correct.
is, again, another sucky point because adamantium in the comics, anywhere you hear it, is a resource that very limited people get to because it's created by scientists who are of brilliant mind and capacity. But now we're in a world where anyone can get it if they got a boat and enough force to go in there and take a chunk
We
off.
have no resolution to the adamantium.
You also don't see adamantium.
No.
You just see a case
It was
of it.
it was
and then
touched on that
Yeah.
America and Japan seems like the forefronts trying to get it, and it was just agreed upon that America would get theirs, Japan would get theirs. There's no real resolution though, because they was about to go to war. But also there was a cool part, like again, the serpent mind controlling people, Winter Soldier style, was cool, but then that was not touched on very much. Like that happened to drive the plot for Isaiah. It also happened to drive the plot for the war. After that, it was done. Like it just went away. The movie just kind of all over the place, but at the same time, it at the end it does become a coherent movie. Like there is a beginning, middle, end. But
Yeah.
it's not a satisfying movie.
Yeah. Like honestly, I think if you kind of cut the movie up, first arc is the Serpent Society because he defeats the leader of the Serpent
yeah, he
Society,
defeats the Serpent,
and then he
right,
moves
that's
on to the next guy, which is the
leader,
leader.
which he figures out the leader's plot.
Exactly.
And he defeats him, but not
he
really.
just turns
He
himself in.
Then
Then the third act is
it's him fighting the Red Hulk,
which he
which
kind of doesn't again
he does
because
not- he literally just runs away from the Red Hulk the entire. Which I mean, I don't.
I'm with you. There's a scene. We're not
wish
gonna be
we
able to
could-
find it because there's no illegal clips or
I
anything.
wish
like
we
that.
could put it up, but the
there's
Red
a
Hulk
scene
is
where,
terrifying.
where Sam lands on the ground He puts the shield up. He was like, "Oh well, I'm good." He puts it down, and Hulk's just like, just slams him
There's
around.
a scene where Sam literally takes off at Mach speed in the air, and the Hulk just jumps and
catches up.
Very, very terrifying.
He
The Red
also
Hulk
grabs
is
him
very
like a
scary.
basketball, basically, and rams him through the White House.
The Red Hulk was really cool.
Yeah, the fight was good. It just
didn't make
wasn't
it-
Captain America.
Also, the
Even if
fight-
it was Steve Rogers,
The fight doesn't make any sense.
he would have taken
Like,
it out.
and we already seen what essentially
Yeah.
Steve Rogers against the Hulk looks like in the Incredible Hulk when what's his name is the guy, the Abomination.
Oh yeah, when he gets
destroyed by the Hulk. That's what would happen to
stumbles.
Sam.
Yeah. Plot armor. That's another thing I want
lot
to
of
talk
plot
about.
armor, yeah.
There is an incredible amount of plot armor. We're not gonna get into every scene. I wish we had clips, but we don't.
Yeah, 'cause
but
we
there's a
didn't
lot of plot
legally-
armor. So if you're going into the movie thinking like, oh, like he's gonna hold his own the whole movie, there's like at least off the top of my head 5 times that Sam should have died.
Yeah.
And the thing is, something happens to Sam where he gets blown up with the missile, but it also happens to the Falcon. But he actually almost died.
No, they explained his suit is vibranium.
That's another thing too, though. They explain that it's vibranium. There's a scene where the dude cuts it with a knife.
That was the first suit. It doesn't matter.
No, because the wings were also absorbed.
I know,
When he
I
landed,
know,
he
I
did
know,
the thing.
I know,
so
I know.
It's like, was the knife made out of vibranium? A lot of questions after this movie.
Yeah. But again, I would say
If you want to
this.
take your family out to go watch a
Don't
movie,
take your family out. Jesus, if you have a family of 4, do not pay $100 to see this.
I wouldn't.
Wait
If you're
till-
a single dude that is bored
Or woman.
and have no, I don't think a woman would like to watch this movie either, because they would just be like, it's just action. Women want story.
I would say
they want to
this.
be bedazzled.
I'll put it this
It's
way:
not a bedazzling movie.
if you could catch this movie on a matinee, you would like it. If you don't want to catch it on a matinee, wait till it come to Disney Plus. You'll have a nice time if you subscribe to Disney Plus. I would not subscribe to Disney Plus for
watch
this movie.
it, yeah.
But if you catch it on Disney Plus, you won't regret it. I wouldn't say it.
1, 2, 3 movies.
Whoa.
But
I would say this though, for sure. This movie respects your time. They got in and out. I don't know what the runtime was supposed to be.
yeah, that is true. They didn't play the anthem.
They respect your time. They get in and out.
They didn't even play the whole thing.
This movie-
Like he said, it's literally a here.
Yeah, here, dang, bruh, dang.
Take the dang movie, because they didn't even play the Marvel theme or anything. They literally
Yeah,
put
it just
Marvel
got straight into it.
It was like,
Straight
okay,
in. This movie respects your time. Literally, when the third act happened, I was like, "Is this when the conclusion when he was fighting?" I was like, "Is this the end of the?" I was like,
he
"Is this
literally
the-"
asked me that
I was like,
in
"Is
the
this the end of the
movie.
movie?"
He literally went over. He's like, "Is this the third act?" I was like, "Yeah."
Because it's really abrupt. Like,
Yeah.
it does. The second act ends with the leader like giving himself. I mean, the third act is pretty much just an entire action sequence, and it's just like.
And the second act too, because it's the boats.
Yeah, so the second, that's what I'm saying. So it doesn't really breathe in between. Like the second act set piece happens short, like a 15-minute interval, and then the third act set piece happens. Not a lot of conclusion to those arcs. Like that's the other thing. It's like, yeah, this is the here dang movie where we tying up, with bows these plot points, but none of the plot points actually get resolved. Other than Ross is done, the leader is. He's not. I mean, he could be done. He could not be done. Like they left a lot of up in the air. Again, like you said about the serpent, that's up in the air. Again, it's Giancarlo Esposito. Are they really going to pay him again? Maybe, but he wasn't very compelling in this. And then with the adamantium, that's the only plot. Like I was saying in the non-spoiler section, that's the only plot point that I can see them actually moving forward. But at the same time, with Secret Wars around the corner, I doubt we'll
There's
see.
not enough time to flesh that out.
It's just because we believe Secret Wars is going to soft reboot the MCU. If it doesn't, then this will be a pivotal point about adamantium and
Moving
Wolverine. If it's no soft reboot, I didn't mean to cut you off, but if there's no soft reboot, then this movie will be key to the adamantium moving forward with Wolverine, with the X-Men. If there is a soft reboot, then this movie won't matter. Essentially. They still could probably keep the plot point of Tiamat being the source of the adamantium, but
That's another thing too I want to talk about. They don't even question where the thing came from at all. So if you think you're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna see a hint of the Eternals, or they're gonna
Yeah, no.
cover it a little bit.
Again,
No.
here dang. Y'all kept asking about TMI.
They
He's just in the
literally,
Indian
no
Ocean.
joke.
That's just
Thunderbolt
it.
Ross, I think word for word says, so this island appeared of this giant, and we got a very valuable resource,
It's like,
adamantium, and that's it.
I'm
They
pretty
don't
sure-
say there's no investigation, there's
He
no
literally was
news
like-
outlet that covers it. They're just like, yeah, this island
He
appeared.
literally was like, y'all keep asking about this, so here you go.
That's literally that's what it was. So if you're expecting for it to be like any connection to anything else, it's not. The only other thing that I feel like was another waste was the Secret Service commander ended up being from the Red Room. If you don't know what that's from the
that was
Black
really
Widow.
weird. There was no reason for her to be affiliated with
Yeah,
that.
and they didn't even go into that. Again, another thing that they couldn't have got nowhere for it, so it's kind of unnecessary to even bring it up. So honestly, if you're gonna go watch this movie to be genuinely like, oh, let's see what's gonna happen next with Marvel, I wouldn't, because it doesn't do that for you. I would save your money to go watch Fantastic Four, which, in my opinion, I don't know if you agree, is going to be the make or break.
Yeah,
honestly.
Fantastic Four is literally the make or break.
It's going to be the make or break for the MCU.
If Fantastic Four doesn't hit, then we're in trouble.
Yeah, and I don't feel confident with Sam Wilson being Captain America.
They didn't instill confidence.
He doesn't instill like leadership. He literally, the whole movie goes to different people for advice. The whole movie. And I think that's a waste because he's so confident in certain stuff.
Yeah,
where he's just like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. He walks into the bunker of the president. It's like, I need to get stuff done. He goes on his own on a mission. He controls the mission by himself. But then when it's time to do actual Captain America stuff, he's like,
ironically, he is the most confident doing Falcon stuff, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, this isn't our first time seeing him as Captain America. We got a whole series about that, fleshing him out as Captain America and him being secure with being Captain America. Except, but in this movie, he's not confident in Captain America. He's questioning himself, and then at the end of the movie, again, literally in the final act, in the final confrontation, he is still doubting himself. He's just kind of being like, "I hope this works," type of deal.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Which I feel bad because
he doesn't have an aura.
This was a missed opportunity.
Steve Rogers.
Yeah, this was definitely a huge missed opportunity by Marvel, which is sad because I feel like Anthony Mackie was very excited to be Captain America.
And Anthony Mackie shows up, but you could tell that this was just so disjointed that, I mean, they just kind of put together what they put together.
Yeah.
Better material. I could see it. Again, I'm not a fan. I'm not going to get into it. I might make a video about it, but I don't like him being Captain America.
Yeah.
Personally, I feel like the Falcon could lead the Avengers if they really wanted to make a compelling story, but that's another topic. But
yeah.
I don't know.
What are your final thoughts? You want to wrap it up in
Final-
one sweet bow.
The movie was mid, but not a bad mid. It was like okay. Like, I don't regret watching it. I don't regret paying for it, but if we wasn't doing this, I definitely would have caught this on Disney Plus. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
That's how I would sum it up.
Statement.
I would sum it up.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a movie that I regret watching. It was a movie that, again, I would watch if it was on Disney Plus. It respects your time. Is this a movie that I would pay for? Maybe if I could catch it on a matinee. Only then. Unless you're just super diehard Incredible Hulk or
you're rich.
or
have
super
the funds.
super diehard Marvel. Just you see everything. I think if you're a Marvel person, you'll enjoy it. But I mean, you'll come out just like us. Like, it was nice. Like, that's it.
It is what it is. I agree with that.
Yeah, I would say if
you're bored,
Yeah,
I would just say this: if you're bored and you have nothing to do,
nothing at all,
go watch it.
Yeah, nothing at all.
Yeah,
or
like
just
he
play
said
Marvel
earlier,
Rivals.
if you have a family of 4,
don't
wait till this is on Disney Plus.
Yeah, so you have a family
your
of
kids
4.
will love it, but you as a parent will be like, "What did I just watch?"
If you have a family of 4, you're gonna spend $150 with snacks and tickets to watch this.
No, definitely not.
No.
And earlier I said women, you shouldn't watch it, but I think you guys might enjoy it.
Well, the woman in this movie was the
Very
I don't remember
powerful.
what was her name was. Do you even remember? She was from the Red Room. That was the reveal.
So if you're a Black Widow fan, I also wouldn't watch it because she kind of doesn't do much.
Yeah, she doesn't. She has no arc as well. See, they set her up.
They kind of set her up to be kind of like a bad guy at the beginning, and then out of nowhere she's like, "Oh, she was actually a good guy all along."
You can tell the movie is disjointed in those type of plot
Very
points because
confusing.
they definitely set her up. in the beginning of the movie, they are framing her to be something, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Oh wait, they was right the whole time."
Also, another issue with the fighting is that this little lady that's like 3 feet tall.
She's from the Red Room, though.
The dude was like 6 feet tall, and she picked him up and slammed him down like she was Bane. I don't care what room you're from. You can't do that. That didn't make any sense.
It low-key don't make sense when Sam was doing it either. He was picking some people up like it
well,
was
actually,
nothing.
it kind of does because the way he was using it was the wings that were kind of
No,
helping
I'm
him.
talking about when he was just regular.
He didn't pick up anybody up.
He did. He suplexed that one guy easy. He did it a couple times, I think. He
Well,
did
Bucks, that big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he had a little bit of leverage because he kind of swung a little bit when he did it. That made more sense than a little girl literally picked him up and then just slammed him on the floor.
Also, I feel like when his truck got blew up, that was about to be another like Winter Soldier sequence, but then they was like, they just cut it.
Oh yeah,
because like
that was gonna be probably their hint
Like
of
for-
like, look,
Nick
he's
Fury.
Captain America, he can fight too. He should have died.
Yeah,
I wanna
Sam's, GMC. I would not have let my truck get blown up.
I would have been so mad.
Also, Hummer. I like that electric Hummer, man.
I think it's ugly.
Hummer got a big part of this movie too, low key.
There's a scene where it literally looks like
A
an
commercial.
ad for.
Then GMC
Hummer.
as well. GMC is Hummer though, right?
I don't know. I don't
think
want to
so.
get into cars. There's gonna be a whole slew if I get
But,
into cars. But
Yeah, so you could. There are certain things like I'm pretty sure there was much extended sequence. I can't wait till we get the actual details of what happened. We probably never will, but because this movie was all over the place.
I don't think they care anymore. I think even Marvel is kind of being like, yeah, wait for Fantastic Four.
Fantastic
even
Four
for
has to
the-
be the cook.
Even for the releasing stuff for it in the movie, they're focusing already a lot on Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And even the stuff I have seen for this promotion-wise for Marvel is a lot under than what Marvel usually does. Usually when you see a Marvel movie, you'll see promotion everywhere. Your grandma will know that a Marvel movie is coming out.
This movie was in development. Like the marketing for this, like
That's what I'm trying to say.
Disney came out and was like, no, this had normal marketing. This did not have normal marketing. This marketing happened like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So this movie's been marketed for a long, long time
Yeah.
to the point where now it's about to come out again. Just here, dang, just take it. We're not even gonna market it that tough no more.
Yeah.
Remember
So I would skip it. Here. How do we do this? The next segment will be our quick resume of how the movie goes, so that you don't have to watch it. So if you don't want to watch,
we'll do a quick
watch
clip,
it.
yeah.
This is what happens. Okay. So we
Yeah.
open up on a scene. Vibranium.
We're gonna do this quick.
Vibranium. It's getting stolen by the Super Society.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who the heck is the buyer, but it gets stolen. Sam Wilson fucks up. He fights him. He wins. He recovers the package. He doesn't know what the package is. There's a whole conundrum about who the fighter is. We continue on to the next thing.
Where Ross invites him to the White House because Ross is the president, and then the whole plot point is Sam goes to gets what's his name? He goes gets Isaiah. Gets Isaiah.
Isaiah
small
reluctantly
conversation
goes
happened,
to the White House.
and then Isaiah becomes a sleeper agent. That is later revealed the Serpent was doing that, and then that pushes us into the action of the movie, which is the Serpent the leader manipulating
everything. We get more shots of him. We don't see him yet for a good bit of the movie.
Also,
I think they was just trying not to pay for the CGI. They're like,
yeah.
stick
Also,
some green stuff.
We all know what the leader's supposed to look like. He's supposed to low-key be really handsome and jacked, but he does not look like that.
He looks like an unshaven ball sack.
And a mushroom.
He
kind of looks like a cordyceps from from The Last of Us.
Okay. Anyways, we continue on. We find out that the leader's secretly behind this. We get a little scenes of how Sam Wilson's trying to Captain America his way around things and defy order and try to bring justice
And he's not
to
being
everyone,
successful at that.
which he isn't because Thunderbolt Ross tells him you need to sit down and get out of here before I arrest you.
Also, just really quick again, if you guys going into this thinking it's Winter Soldier vibes, which was what they led with, this is not Winter Soldier vibes.
No.
It's more like the Incredible Hulk vibes, but yeah, go
Exactly.
ahead.
So, what am I talking about? All right. Thunderbolt Ross tells him, sit down. It doesn't matter what you think. I'm going to do whatever I need to do.
And you're out. Like, I
And
wanted you to form the Avengers, now you're out.
Yeah, I don't
You're out,
care about you
Norman.
anymore.
Out,
So
am
then
I?
after this, we get more revelation about the pills that
The
he
leader
was
made.
taking, that apparently the leader was making, and we get a full
Yeah.
fleshed out, like, oh, the leader was behind all the attacks.
Yes.
And
Very
actually,
abrupt.
it turns out that Thunderbolt Ross
We
knew
s-
all along, but he just didn't feel like saying it because he didn't want his public image
We
to
also
be
seen the
ruined.
lab from the Incredible Hulk, like the literal lab where Bruce Banner was in. We see that lab.
Yeah.
That's where the leader's
But
hideout
again,
was.
not even important to the story because
No, it
they
wasn't.
trash it within 2 seconds.
Yeah, blew it up.
Like literally
Like
blew
here,
it up.
dang, here it go. But
Exactly.
now it's gone.
Then we
Boom,
move
boom,
on
boom.
from this. The leader tries to turn Thunderbolt Ross into the Red Hulk inside the ship, which is the part you see in the trailer.
Yeah, that was
it
also
does not
pretty
successful.
cool. The transformation was kind of cool. Like the half transformation was pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess. It was honestly a regular. It wasn't even that cool. It was
His
like,
eyes turned red. It was pretty cool. He looked like Super Saiyan God Goku.
yeah, I don't know what that means. Anyways, Falcon gets hurt. He tries to stop a missile. He crashes. He burns.
Falcon
basically
as in
dies.
Torres. So that's our first big our big first set piece where the Falcon and Captain America go out to stop these rogue jets that got mind controlled by the leader that's about to attack
I forgot
the
to skip the
Japanese.
other set piece before that was the fact that he takes down the Serpent Society. He takes him down because his truck
Oh yeah,
blows
he
up.
took him down. Yeah, he
But
took
that's
them-
way before.
which is like the first act. Like that's the conclusion to
So
the
he
first
takes
act.
him down, and
His
he's
GMC
just like,
truck got blowed up. I
and they
was
don't even
very hurt
explain
about
what
that.
happens to
It was
him.
Very painful.
Sam just says, "Oh yeah, that he's in prison," and then now we go back to where Falcon was basically dead.
Yeah,
there's no way he should have survived
so
that.
Torres is out in the second act of the movie. So
Yeah.
the conclusion of the second act, Torres is done. He is no longer in the film. Coma status, like literally coma.
They literally say he's in critical condition, but he
Yeah.
should be dead.
He should be dead.
Took
He
the
took a-
full force
Probably a hypersonic missile.
of a hypersonic. So, basically, he should have died. We
he
move
should've
on
died,
from
yeah.
this. Sam gets a little like, "Oh, should I be Captain America?" Then
Oh,
walks
also
in.
Sam, his new suit, no explanation, just got it.
Yeah, that's true. Another thing, he just has one. He just pulls out the shelf Iron Man style.
Yeah, which I like.
Avengers
I do
Iron
like
style.
the suit. I love the suit, but
We get a little
No
bit more debate of Sam deciding to be Captain America or not. Then enter Bucky Barnes for like 2 seconds.
Gave him
He
a little
tells him,
pep
"Yeah,
talk.
you can do it." Blah blah blah. And
Also-
they ruin it with a joke, like they always do. It was a
Also-
serious talk. It was a nice pep talk, and then he's like, "What did he ask him? Who helped you out with the speech, or somebody
oh
helped you out
yeah,
with
yeah.
the
He
speech?"
was like, "Did your speech writers write that?" Because newsflash, Bucky's a politician now. Even though that would literally be impossible, this man literally killed JFK. Why would he is the worst terrorist of all time?
Yeah.
He dismantled
He
several
worked for
societies.
Nazi Germany. He worked for Hydra.
He dismantled society at least 3 times. He's a
Exactly.
He's a
He's
congressman.
responsible for the Civil War. He's responsible for
He's
the 3 helicarriers
He's
falling out
responsible
of the
for
sky.
Vietnam.
He's literally responsible for everything, but he's a politician. We're not going to get into that because, again, it's another point that doesn't make any sense and it's not useful. Then
Yeah,
Sam's
but-
like, "You know what? I can't become Captain America, and I don't need the serum." Enter the third arc.
Yeah,
where
well, he's like,
we-
but maybe I do need the serum. That's kind of the lingering.
No, I'm pretty sure he goes. He's like, "Yeah, I don't need it. I can be." I
Yeah,
can
but
be Captain
then he was
America."
like, yeah.
Well, that is, yeah. And then now we enter
the third act.
all along that the leader was like, "Hey, you ruined my plan. I'm kind of mad at it.
And,
so
whole,
I'm gonna turn
and the
myself
whole
in."
time, the undertone of this movie is Ross good? Is Ross bad? We see him struggling with thoughts. He's
We
trying
don't
to.
even really see him struggling.
I know the idea is he's supposed to be struggling with
But he's
being good or
not.
bad. The resolution
He's
is
just-
that he is changed, but he didn't really change except
he-
to the Red Hulk. He changed into the
Yeah,
Red
that's
Hulk.
the only thing that happened. We get into this third act. He's addressing the people. He's like, "Yeah, these were all lies."
And we've seen him
And then we
almost turn into Red Hulk a couple times at this point.
Yeah, and then again he comes up and is like, "Hey, all this stuff that you heard about me, they're lies." And then the news outlets bring the receipts and they're like, "Yeah, this
Yeah.
guy just turned himself in and said."
And then he released all the files.
Exactly.
And then he played
And
the
then-
audio recording.
Yeah, and then he turns into the Red
turns
Hulk,
into the
and
Red
then he
Hulk.
whips
He
Captain
flips
America's
out.
butt. It's very scary.
Yeah, extremely terrifying. I mean,
Jesus Christ.
those people was not running. I would have been gone.
I don't understand why in a world where we know superheroes.
Yeah,
Like they're not hidden.
freaking
And the Secret Service
they're
decides, let me shoot him with my
they're
9mm.
They're shooting the Red Hulk with a Glock.
Like, we know superheroes exist. You know the Red Hulk. Why would you think this Hulk would be different?
Oh, also, if you're a hardcore Red Hulk fan, he doesn't get hot.
He does get hot.
He got hot.
He got hot because he sticks his hand inside the car and then the heat explodes the car.
No.
So that's as much as you're gonna get. Gasoline.
He doesn't get hot.
Doesn't catch on fire like
he doesn't get hot.
He does get hot.
He does not get hot.
He gets hot.
No, he doesn't.
He gets hot enough. You can see the vapors.
He does no
he
smoke
literally
coming off
explodes the
of
car.
him. Just because he put his hand in the gas tank.
No, he literally. That's the thing too, because he
put his hand in the gas tank.
And then he went like this.
If you do anything like this,
not really.
He doesn't get hot in the movie.
He gets a little hot. Okay, can we agree he gets steamy?
He gets steamy for sure, like a shower after a long day type. Steamy.
Yeah, like you know when you see in the horizon and you kind of see the vapors.
Yeah, not
that's
like
as hot as
yeah, like you just cut the shower on, you had to go out because you forgot your towel and you came back and it's a little steamy. That's how hot he gets.
That's how he gets.
He not scalding water like ooh.
No, the only thing he burns a little bit of
is his clothes.
And that's it. But that was just because CGI had to.
And also because he was getting big. I mean, you could have.
But we didn't. Okay, anyways, Sam Wilson talked no jutsus him to calm down and be like, "Hey."
He was like, "Hey, remember Betty?
You're a good guy." And then he sees the little
rose petal,
and then he's like, "Yeah, you know what? I'm a good guy."
And then he just.
And that's the end of the movie.
And also,
the rest of that happens afterward literally doesn't matter.
And then at the end, they showed the original Betty Ross, Liv Tyler, which is huge.
Which is not even.
She came back
for like 2 seconds and said, "Hey, let's talk for 2 seconds." That's literally her.
And then she just bounced.
Ta-da! Captain America movie.
Oh, and then the post-credit.
Which was useless.
He just had a conversation. What was it even?
It was not okay. So the leader it's not clear what he was even hinting at. So he says, "I have made the calculations."
So the post-credit. So wait. The post-credit to set it up is Captain Sam goes to the raft to speak to the leader.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he goes there.
What was he talking about?
It's not entirely sure what he's hinting at, but he says, "Due to my calculations, do you think you're the only one? Just wait." Blah 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 blah. Again, not important. And then he says, "Wait till the others come." Not exactly sure if he's hinting to the Eternals or if he's hinting to the other Celestials.
Yeah, it was not
or
very
the
clear.
The Dark Avengers.
To me, I thought he was speaking about the Eternals.
But they're not even bad guys, so why would the
exactly.
leader be
But then why would he know about the multiverse? It doesn't make any sense.
If you're, that's another thing too. I don't know what I'll do. But if you're going for the cutscene, don't even stay. The cutscene is useless.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
All it kind of shows is like, hey, the leader's in the same prison as the Red Hulk. Why would we do that? That's another thing. I'm not gonna get into that.
Also, Ross is definitely still the Red Hulk. Unfortunately, he's gonna be one and done. Don't expect Harrison Ford to come back unless they throw him a major bag. But again, the man 82. Let him rest. He tired.
Yeah, he's probably done.
I will say he did, but Harrison Ford, he showed up. Like he was definitely acting. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he was acting. But it's Harrison Ford.
No mustache either. They made a little
jokey
joke about that. Or is that only in the trailer?
No, they made a joke about it. He's like, I'm getting used to the new look. And
they showed it. They showed
said
him with
either
the
cut the
mustache
mustache off or you can't run for the president.
Yeah, something like that. They did show a clip with him with the mustache, but no mustache to Ross in here.
And that's it. That's the end of the Captain America.
Yeah. Brave New World. I'm not really sure why it was called a Brave New World.
Yeah,
there was nothing brave or new or nothing about the world in this. The only world thing would be the world
war that was about to happen.
That didn't even. That was again. That was. Only
it wasn't even a world.
That was
it was
only.
just Japan.
That was only the end of the second act plot point. So, not sure why they called it Brave New World.
Because it was just France, India, and Japan. Was
should have just
thing.
been Captain America 4. Like Captain America Gamma Hunt.
Gamma Hunt. Yeah, that's the new title we were gonna give it.
Captain America 4 Gamma.
Captain America Gamma 04.
Captain America Gamma.
And then they just turn everything green instead of red, white, and blue.
Or only red because of the Red Hulk.
So this ends our talk. Because do you have anything else you want to add?
The hot toy for the Red Hulk gonna be gas though. For sure.
I'm a little disappointed now that I'm talking about it. Yeah, but that's it from us for our review.
Yeah,
we watched the movie.
Yeah, we definitely watched a movie. That's what I said in the beginning.
Yeah,
we watched a movie.
We watched a movie.
I will say this. This is out everywhere tomorrow. Out in select tomorrow if you're watching this. Whenever this comes up, it's gonna be out. I mean, if you really don't have nothing to do Friday, Saturday. I mean, I'm talking you really got nothing to do. You ain't talking to nobody. You don't have to work.
And you got an extra $20 in your bank account.
You got an extra $20, and I mean, I mean, your fridge is full, so you don't need to buy nothing, no groceries or nothing.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm talking about you ain't got no games on TV is coming on.
No
or nothing.
girls are texting your phone.
No girls are texting. No guys
your
texting
friends,
you. Your friends all out of town.
All out of town.
I mean, I'm talking about you really got to have nothing to do. I mean, I'm saying you got to have nothing to do. I mean, like
no laundry, no cleaning your house,
cleaning, your car
nothing.
Gassed up.
Exactly. You got everything ready to go. You ain't got to visit no people at the hospital or anything like that.
I mean, I'm talking about like nothing. I'm like you sitting on the bed.
And even then,
you sitting on the bed staring at the ceiling, and like you said, even then,
I would wait till Disney Plus. I would wait till Disney Plus. But that's it from us at the Talk No Jutsu podcast. We cover everything nerd. Another one of our videos made it to 1,000.
Yes, nice.
Thank you for the support. Really appreciate it. Follow us on Instagram, JB at JB versus everybody, and me at Everyone Hates X. And follow us at the Talk No Jutsu podcast Instagram. They get all our updates of our videos whenever they're going to come out. They also get news as fast as we can get it out. We're usually on top of things. I don't think we haven't not been able to not cover anything. But yeah, stay tuned for our review of the Spider-Man episodes, which we're going to film right after this. Wow. But we're going to go to sleep for a little bit because we need to recoup our brains.
I will just say, though, Spider-Man, that review's coming along with Daredevil. But I would say Spider-Man, maybe check that out if you got Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would, if you're bored and you have nothing to do instead of watching Captain America,
watch Spider-Man.
Go watch Spider-Man. Yeah. But that's it. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace. I got a headache talking about this movie.
It's a lot. You talk about something that was good.